Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. As y'all know, I'm at the cabin. We are having some technical difficulties. We done blew a fuse, and now the refrigerator is not working, and some of the outlets aren't working. I was able to get my mimosa. Though I put it in, and I don't have a fancy cup. I bought this cup from Starbucks yesterday, so that's what I have in my cup, a little mimosa with some strawberries floating in it for fancy. So since they are out there cooking, I'll fix my breakfast when they're done. I thought I got time. Let's get some reviews out the way, so y'all don't be thinking, oh, this hold on went on Christmas vacation and she forgot all about it. Okay, so I thought I would start with selling Tampa. I'm trying to figure out how to do this with the thing plugged in for the mic on the bottom of my phone, so it makes my phone very precarious, and I'm using these people's plant to hold my phone up so that we can get this done. Yes. All right, so let's jump into what the hell is we watching? Selling Tampa episode 2. Let's get it. We started off with a conversation about sucking toes. And they was like, would you suck a man's toes? And they was like, and they was like, Ann won't even eat cold sandwiches, and you talk about sucking a nigga. Tennille was like, if the price is right though. If the price is indubitably right, mans could possibly get his toes sucked. Oh, well, Jesus. All right. Okay, so they're having their morning meeting and apparently the guy Peter, who is Ann's client that Tennille had been talking to, is going to put an offer on the house. And Tennille kept saying, no, our client, we writing it up. No, darling, you had one conversation. That is not your client. And then she was like, I feel like I should get some commission if this man buys this house. I mean, she should give me 1%, 2%. Then I realized she had to be kidding, because I was like, bitch, you get nothing. Get the fuck out my face is what you get. But she was like, a dinner something. Come get these M&Ms, broad. That's all you getting from me, because you did nothing but stand there and hold a conversation and hold my place until I got there. Thank you. I don't like that. I don't like that. Also, they was talking about people's item and clothing. Daughter, you wore the... I know y'all can hear this Mariah Carey in the background. Mariah, please don't strike my video. Thank you. Because it's the background music and not what's happening. We're not focusing on that. So, they was talking about attire again. And the boss, who wore a glorified suit jacket and some heels, was talking about Colony. If she sneezed, her butt cheek would have been out. Daughter, I think they're giving them just a little bit too much. I think they're doing a little too much for my liking. Just for me personally. As I sit here in the crop top with all of my rolls out. But still a little too much for me. Ooh, escandalo. So at the end of the meeting, they talk about the pay structure is changing. The commission split is changing, and it's changing by a lot, comparatively to what it was to what it's going to. So it's going from the agents take home 95% of the commission, and the brokerage get 5%. So they go home from taking 95% to 80%. It's a 15% decrease. And she's talking about it's going toward lead generations and, overhead and keeping the place up. And the only person who spoke to it and had like an issue with it was Rena, who in her confessional is still harping upon the fact that she's not on the freaking promo picture. Now, if you're gonna take 15% more of my money, put me in the poster. Absolutely, I should be every marketing piece of promotion that comes from this brokerage should have my face on it. No, if you are going to take that, if you're going to increase that much, I need to see my face on every piece of promotion or whatever that comes out of this brokerage to denote that I work here and that you making an investment in me. And things started to get a little heated between Rena and Sherelle the owner, and Sherelle put the whole thing to bed. She was like, well, you can get on your calendar, on my calendar, and we can discuss it more later, because we're not finna have this drag out fight in front of all of these people where you feel like you can maybe start to get disrespectful with me and all that good stuff. That ain't gonna happen. So we'll talk about it later. And then the meeting was adjourned, chef. Baby, trouble in the city. All right, so we went in Colony, and Ann has this property that she's trying to sell. Colony thinks it'll be a great fit for Cho, the guy who she showed the first house with. And so they're having a conversation about how Rena carried it about the commission split in the meeting, and they were like, she was doing a bit much. They were like, well, it doesn't really affect us because we always hustling. So if you always hustling and making sales and making deals, then the commission slip is really, the new split is really not going to affect you that much. And so they were just being, come on, ladies, get your hustle up like we got our hustle up, blah, 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 blah. Also, Sherelle brought Carla for, they went to work out. And after the workout, they had a conversation where Sherelle has this opportunity with a developer for these whatever properties he's developing, and bringing her onto their sales team for the business deal with the developer. Carla's been going through some things. She and her high school sweetheart of 10 years, I'm assuming the father of her children, broke up, and the pandemic happened, and half her clients fell off, and she'd been struggling. And Sherelle was just trying to make sure that she was okay, and then recommended that she go see a counselor about depression. Okay, so we got some more insight on what's actually going on with Miss Rena, and it's more than just not being in the photo. So Rena felt like when Sherelle first started the firm, she was an integral part of the business. And when Sherelle and her ex split up, she felt like their relationship was affected because her and her husband are still, I guess, cordial with the ex. And so that has put some distance in their relationship. And now Rena has her own broker's license, and she's thinking of opening her own brokerage firm by herself. And her husband was like, she and her husband were sitting down having dinner, and they were talking about it. And he was like, who would you recruit from the office? And she was like, and she, like me, immediate was like, no, that's taking it too far. It's one thing for me to leave and open my own brokerage. It's another thing for me to leave and then poach real. So I absolutely 100% agree with Rena. That would be a step too far. It's one thing to say, okay, well, I feel like I'm no longer, this, at one point this served my needs, but at this point I would like to branch out and move forward and take leaps and steps. And for me, that would mean me I have my broker's license, which Sherelle doesn't know at this time, but that for me, that means that's the next step in my evolution. But it's one thing for me to take a step out on faith and do new things for me. It's another thing for me to try and snatch the best realtors from where I came from. You know what I'm saying? That's just a step too far. And she correctly surmised it would be all out war if she did that. Now the husband looking goofy in the feeling, but nah, bro, it's not cute. It's not ethical. Don't do that. Okay, so a lot just happened. So we found out that Miss Joanna is getting a divorce from her husband. She hasn't told anybody. Just her mama and her child knows. That's it. Nobody else know. None of her coworkers, not her friend Sherelle, nobody. And she says it's because she feels embarrassed, and she just doesn't want to be looked down upon or looked in a certain way, that her marriage is dissolving and all that good stuff. So Joanna, Sherelle, and Carla met with Arturo, the developer, and he fell in love with Carla, and they had a good meeting and everything. And so I guess Sherelle called a meeting. Everybody shows up like at this little yacht clubby, bar grill situation. And so all the ladies are there. They're trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. And Carla, Joanna, and Sherelle show up on a boat, and it's kind of off. And so they explain that they just got the developing deal with Arturo, and now
is, instead of it just being them three profiting off of this deal, Arturo has said that they have access to all of his properties, all of his listings, whatever he got going on. So any one of the women are able to, if they're able to market what he has available and sell and make more money. And so everybody is great with that. And then Rena again brings up them changing the commission structure, and I don't think it's so much. I think a small part of it is the amount that it was a change to, but she's more harping on the fact that you changed it without letting anyone know. Now, without letting anyone know, you know when it happens as an employee. If you're not the boss and making that level decision, I can see giving a heads up. Hey, this, that, and the third. I am thinking of changing the commission structure and how it works and the brokerage split. I'll give you plenty of time and let you know ahead of time, before it goes into, it won't go into effect immediately. I'll give y'all like maybe 3 weeks to a month in order to know that it's going to change on this date, so that you can adjust or whatever you need for the split getting ready to happen. So but Rena and Sherelle are going back and forth, and Sherelle is just like, at the end of the day, I'm the boss and I said what it is, and that's what it is. And I feel like Rena feels like it's a level of disrespect not to even say anything until just pop out the blue. Oh yeah. Okay, so in the midst of them arguing, so Sherelle and Joanna walked off to the bar, I guess to give them a breather and ding the bell. Then Joanna, for no reason, attacked Ann, because the wording that Rena used was, I know other agents have issues with you changing the split, and if they had issues, I just wanted to be the one to raise the question, so that if they have an issue, that they can speak to it at that time. And so I guess Ann was nodding in agreement to whatever Rena was saying, and Joanna took that to mean that she had an issue with the pay structure, even though she never verbally said that. And then she tried to point Ann out, and was like, first of all, I never said that. I was nodding because I was actively listening to her, not that I was in complete agreement with what it is that she was saying. So what you need to do is slow your roll and jump out my face, is what you need to do. So while they take a time out and for cooler heads to prevail, Joanna and Sherelle sit down and have a conversation, and Joanna tells Sherelle that she's getting divorced, that they're separated, and she's filed for divorce, and they're not going to work it out and stuff. And Sherelle is of course a good friend, and she was like, do you need me to do anything? And she's like, why didn't you tell me? I've been giving you all these tasks, and she was like, no, I just needed to keep busy, so it's fine, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. So while they're having this heart-to-heart and conversation, the other ladies at the table are looking over at them, trying to figure out what are they talking about. They must be having a deep conversation, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like assumptions are being made about what they're saying has something to do with the argument that just happened between Rena and Sherelle, and it really, really doesn't. And that's how the episode ended. I can't wait to see how I honestly don't see Rena lasting the whole season at the firm. I just don't. She's bucking up too much to continue to be there, honestly. But we gonna see what happens in the next episode, which will be, I don't know, I gotta look at my calendar when I get home. But this has been Selling Tampa, Season 1, Episode 2. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a kin, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.